I'm very excited about this video because it's a big deal, right? I mention flat Earth like almost every single time I say something is bullshit. I guess I didn't say it when I was dealing with criminal justice because it was so bullshit I didn't have to, uh, say anything else about it. But most of the time I mention the flat Earth experience. It's so obvious. Why do people believe science at this point? Why are people bullshitting themselves with something they have not actually experienced? It's just, you know, a picture of Earth from space, allegedly, you know, pieced together. It's not from space. It's not an actual picture from space. It's just put together with Photoshop, and it's admitted. It's crazy. People believe this shit. And there's a lot of reasons not to believe in round earth, which immediately will scare you because, like, wait, what the fuck is government doing? Because it definitely must know about it. And, it gets really crazy when you put all of the proofs together. It gets pretty crazy. Because it's like, why would they lie to you, huh? So let's fucking begin, boys. Round Earth is definitely bullshit from the standpoint that I am in. Like, there's absolutely no reason to believe in it. No reason whatsoever. I think the first thing we have to talk about is like debunking the idea of science in the first place. It's like, who actually decides what science is? Do scientists or do normal people who are questioning reality? Right? Who deserves to hold the title of science? Now, obviously, it's the people who have the technology to do science. But at the same time, you have to have pure intentions. You must not have an intention to deceive anyone. And scientists would want to deceive people because they profit from that. If they put up a crazy proof of something, they might get money for that, for finding something out. Especially when it's not true, when it's just easy science for them. And no one is going to question science enough to bother, like, who gets the money or not. Science is tricky, dude. I think science is a word that people deserve to have. We, through our experience, we can put together science through our stories, right? We can put together science the way reality works, pretty much. I think Darren Brown is like super cool person. I have already talked about him. I already made a video about him. I think he's the one making science. He's the one like delving into human psychology so deeply that it's crazy. And he shows all these results too of what you can do with your mind pretty much. Ugh. The real people of science now, I definitely understand what it is now. They document everything. They post a bunch of videos online. That's science. If you can just post your thoughts, your opinion online, that is what science is. Yeah, it's like, well, opinion is not science. Uh, opinion comes from experience. I'm sorry, experience is very much science. And documentaries is the most smartest thing you can do, basically. Put all of the knowledge together, basically. Just like I am doing right now. I'm doing a mini documentary about Flat Earth and how cool it is. You know. And to claim that I'm not a scientist, well, I don't know. I don't know what science is. Well, actually, I do know. I just scientifically figure it out. I can only see logically figure it out. I cannot see scientifically because science as a word has been hijacked. Very likely. But again, I can still logically I can see logically figure out that, well, I'm doing science. Especially when I release so many videos. Normally people don't post like one video every 3 days, or I don't know how often I post. Maybe every 2 days even. Normally people don't do that, but I document everything. I give a fuck about everything, and I have my methods of doing this science. I don't know, dude. If you look at me, I don't know. If you tell me I'm not a scientist, there must be something wrong with you. I'm not getting paid as a scientist, if that's what you're claiming. That's pretty cool. Only if you get paid about something, you are that profession. You know, it's like I cannot be a teacher unless I get paid to do that job, right? And that's kind of true. You know, people should pay you for doing a good job. That just confirms that you're doing a good job. So I'm not true scientist. Despite me documenting everything, I don't put good quality videos. I don't attract a lot of people. I'm completely out of the, competition. I can't compete against other people. I still think I do a good job, but that's just my opinion. It's not supported by anything. At the same time, I feel like I'm very shy, and I would not, introduce myself to any group of people, which is kind of what you have to do to be relevant at all, is constantly introduce yourself, constantly tell people what you're doing, and just, be apparent in their lives. Talk about things with them, just random people. Or so I think that's how it works. Who knows how fucking life works? I'm trying to figure it out. Say, if I was true scientist, I would get paid for it. That's the whole difference. Is what people decide is valuable. That becomes a profession, for sure. And there's no doubt about it, right? So technically, science is not much about, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Whatever people do these days as science. But it's all about getting paid for it. It's all about doing it professionally, right? Well, that's the point. It's like, you still have to do science, even if you're not getting paid for it. If you want to do anything, logic based. If you want to solve problems, you're technically doing science. I just hate the word science, because it's just so lame. But it's very important. when you're trying to describe, like, oh, people believe in science, people believe, and then that's weird. It's like, oh my god, these people are paid so much for some reason. These space agencies are well paid to do crazy things. But technically, we have to look at space agency as a part of a military, as a part of like government's agenda of something, because it's not much else than that. It's not people, doing it for a purpose to, colonize other planets or something. It's the government doing it. It's whatever government wants is gonna happen pretty much with all these space agencies. So technically you should blame the government for lying to us, technically, if that's the case. If indeed the earth is flat and the government is hiding that from us. Which is, again, ridiculous. It sounds pretty ridiculous. I mean, if you're really looking for something science-based, it's like Vsauce, dude. Vsauce is science, for sure. And it was wrong science, too. Science can be wrong or right. It depends. It's like, well, if you have a pancake, it will have this gravitational force that will force everything into the center. I don't know. I never had a pancake that has a gravitational force of any kind, so I can't be sure what would happen if Earth was a pancake. And who knows, man? Maybe Earth is not a pancake. Maybe Earth is infinite. But it was depicted as a snow globe, technically. Where it has a dome and it's just flat all the way around. That's how all the ancient civilizations looked at it until now. We just figured it out, We're so smart. We looked at it from space. Somehow. Yeah, but all ancient civilizations depicted flat Earth. All of them. We're the only ones who figured, we went to space. We know how the Earth looks like, obviously. And why would anyone lie to us, That's a counter-argument. That's a thinking phase. I put it as a counter-argument. I'm not sure why, dude. It blows my mind too. But there's so many more reasons to not believe this that I'm like, yeah, it's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. It's such big bullshit. You should know about it and dismiss science. But I put science in the quotes because it's not what I mean. I mean fake science. The thing that you're not able to test because, wow, they have much better equipment. Those scientists who got paid, they spent all this money on equipment, dude. And they can do much better science because that was a good investment, dude. Except that equipment is for them to use, not for you. You don't get better results, better experience. And again, we only got composite image of the Earth. We didn't get the actual picture of it from space. We never did. It's crazy. And that should be a point. So there is no proof of the round Earth. Like, absolutely zero proof. The only problem, you might think, is the gravity. Because flat earthers don't believe in gravity. And I'll gonna give you this. I got this amazing argument that if gravity doesn't exist, there is no reason for things to fall down. There is no reason for there to be this kind of weird force all of a sudden that makes things fall down, makes things fall in a certain direction, right? Because if you have the Earth, it's like, well, it's super simple. Things are falling towards the center of the Earth. But when there is no gravity, where does that direction come from? Who decides that fucking direction? How does things in the world figure out where down is? That's a legit question, but like at the same time, like, who cares? I don't know, dude. I just never actually observed gravity. That's the point. That's the counter argument. And I don't care if you have some kind of magic 2 balls of steel or something that attract to each other somehow. I want to see really dense objects attract other objects, like magnets. You know, that doesn't happen. No matter how dense your object is, it doesn't attract anything. It just, falls down. It's just heavier. That's all that happens. It's denser, it's heavier. It's more affected by gravity that doesn't exist. Just, the thing that exists in a flat earther's mindset is density. More dense objects fall down and less dense objects get pushed up. Like helium gets pushed up by air because air falls down in respect to helium. So gravity is kind of possible to explain. Again, it's just like, why would things fall down specifically? Why is this one direction? It's weird how it works. But at the same time, it's like, well, that's how it works. Why would you question that? That's just how it works. You just have to figure out an explanation for that. But yeah, if we take the last point, I've never observed any object whatsoever to have any gravitational pull. But we still claim that the Earth itself has a gravitational pull. How can we do that when we never observed gravity at all? Besides, that things fall down. That doesn't mean it's gravity. It's just a theory that we believe. And once gravity's out of the picture, holy shit, nothing makes sense anymore about around Earth, right? Because it's the whole piece of the puzzle. But even if you think like, oh, gravity exists, it's fine. One thing is problematic. And it's a point. It's another argument to flat Earth debate winning, basically. Why, for God's sake, why would Earth rotate around Sun and not just fall into it? Where's gravity, Yes, it makes Earth rotate around, but where is it? It should slowly, be sucked in. Like logically thinking. Why would every single planet would be able to escape Sun's gravity? Just like that. Just like, I'll escape Sun's gravity by rotating around it. That makes sense, right? That's how we do it. It just makes no sense whatsoever. How do you escape gravity like that? That is magic to me. I mean, even if you're rotating, you're still rotating into that object. They're still gonna meet anyways. There's no escape velocity that you can possibly come up with that's consistent like that. How can you do that? Same goes for our moon. And also something weird happens too with the moon. The moon rotates around Earth, right? But the Earth rotates around the sun. So moon always has to catch up to the Earth while it, Earth is rotating around the sun. So the moon sometimes, falls back and is all the way behind where the Earth is going. So the moon would have to catch up while the Earth is moving. The moon has to catch up to its speed again. The rotation doesn't make sense, that it's so easy to rotate while the object is moving. Earth is moving. How do you rotate around the Earth while the Earth is moving? I mean, just a simple question, but it's ridiculous. Just so many questions already. So many questions that makes me think that round Earth is stupid. Because it doesn't just logically answer all these questions to me. I can't logically explain that. I would need to be way more scientific to understand it, obviously. That's the problem. I'm not doing science, I'm just doing fucking whatever I want at this point. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, dude. Whatever I want science. That's the one I'm trying to think about it. It doesn't make sense to me at all. You're trying to rotate around a moving object. There's no reason why Earth would drag the moon for it to allow it to rotate around it. No, the moon would just fly off. Easy as that. Just fly off somewhere. If it doesn't fall into the Earth for some reason, it should just fall into the Earth or just fly off. Two things. But none of that ever happens. The coolest thing about the moon is it doesn't rotate at all for some reason around itself. It itself does not rotate. It always faces the Earth. Like, how do you explain that shit, dude? The moon is rotating just enough to face the Earth. Why would the moon fucking do that? Is there some kind of gravitational game going on? It's like, well, there's one side of the moon more attracted to the Earth, though it's always going to be facing the Earth, or just a magnetic thing going on. Please, don't try to make up bullshit like that, because it's not funny anymore. It's just not funny. Holy shit. What a coincidence, isn't it? On the flat Earth, it makes sense for things to face the Earth forever. For the moon to face the Earth forever. Like, that's fine. I can deal with that. I can deal with sun rotating too. That's fine. I can deal with that. But on the round Earth model, moon always rotating just enough to face the... What? You gotta be kidding, dude. This is my favorite. Sun and moon are the same size. Very interesting coincidence, which either implies that the moon has been created artificially, by some uh, weird civilization, and it's pretty big, so how do you create a moon? None of that makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is that everything is made artificially. Mostly by God, probably. Simple. And God thought about it, It's like, what size should sun and the moon be? Probably completely different sizes. Because they're completely different things. Sun is a star, and moon is like a fucking space junk. It's just a rock. It's nothing. Doesn't do anything. It's worthless. It's a very interesting coincidence, Let alone the coincidence that we're alive in the first place, But that just bound to happen in the world of space and infinite stars and galaxies. At some point, humans will happen, Big Bang, dude. I believe in that too. It's just, that's the stupidest part, I think. When we're talking about what is more likely, a Big Bang or just God making things? Because, there is epic consciousness of, a creator. There's no escape, There has to be a power that creates things. Some kind of power that legitimately creates things. And that power can create anything, alright? Anything. It just would have to learn how to create things that it really wants. That's the only problem. Because human being is a pretty complex thing. You can't just, snap your fingers and be like, oh, here you go, I created a human being. That was easy. I don't care, dude. You have to be very, very intelligent to create a human being. But that's what a god would do first. It would gather intelligence. Technically, by creating big bangs, God would just be like, oh, I can create big bangs. That is easy. Because I can just create a bunch of nonsense, basically. Randomly generated things. But the problem is with the Big Bang, why would it create nothing but a blob? Why would it just spit out a bunch of stars? Something that doesn't even interact with itself. All of this star bullshit that we're being fed, it's like, well, stars are just flying off. Space is expanding. Nothing will ever come together, ever. Even galaxies don't come together. Even though, is that how gravity works? Things can just fly off, but at the same time maintain structure forever, consistently too, where the stars don't really change in the sky. Everything is super consistent for some reason. No, it's just weird. I do believe that there was a creator and it created something smarter than a Big Bang. Alright? It created many, many universes that creatures can live in. That's a smarter thing to do than just creating a random explosion. Yes, all these universes are random, and, it gives you a random experience of random weirdness of life, but, that's how God would make things. But at the same time, there are things that you cannot let randomness take control. You just can't let randomness take control. If you want things to exist, there has to be really good rules set up for those things to exist. Otherwise, just like humanity, if you want humanity to exist, you have to set up good rules, or we just start killing each other, right? We have to educate people, we have to really beat the evil. That's the whole evil. Evil is the absence of rules, the absence of knowledge of how to do things properly. Then things fall apart without this ultimate knowledge. But let's not get too far. There's one more argument. There's one more thing that we should be able to observe, but we can't. Which is amazing, honestly. Also, it's very funny that Neil deGrasse Tyson, alleged scientist, well, probably, a speaker for science, for sure. But he says the Earth is oblate spheroid. It's not even round. It's weirdly shaped. How do you know that? Because of gravity, because of spinning. The Earth is spinning, dude. So it must flatten itself out a little bit. It's the stupidest thing. It's like, what? Is there proof for that? More than just the Earth is spinning? Because he just arrived to that conclusion logically, which is fun because I can do the same thing. I'm not gonna take it as a great argument. I just think it was the stupidest thing that was ever said. Oh, it's oblate spheroid. Yeah, sure. Said the person that did not observe the Earth yet, for what it truly is shaped like. Why would you speculate on the shape of the Earth, right? When you can actually observe something completely different. And that's kind of my point. In fact, that's the greatest point of all time. What do you observe? It's flat. It is just goddamn flat. There is no curvature. We don't see it even very high up. And there is no rotation of the Earth. Why would the sky rotate at the same speed as the Earth itself, as the things on the ground? There's no reason for clouds to rotate at the same speed. They would fall back. But that doesn't happen. We don't observe that. We don't observe planes getting, spinning backwards, while the Earth is spinning forwards. The planes just kind of, if the plane just gets up into the air, it should just stay there, and the Earth would rotate beneath the plane. We would technically travel by air balloons, basically. We would just hop into an air balloon, hot air balloon, fly, get off the ground would rotate, and that's how we would travel around the Earth. It's amazing. But that doesn't happen. For some reason, we are being grabbed by the gravity so well that we just, we're just perfectly rotating. It is the stupid thing. I should observe it. Its angular speed. Alright. Even if gravity's working very well, it's an angular speed. It's not something like, oh, I'm inside of a car, a moving car, and I don't feel that it's moving. But rotation is different. if a car started rotating, you would feel that. You would be pushed towards the edge of the car, basically. Wherever that is. Rotation is different than just movement. So that's why I say angular speed. Things would just fall off the Earth at this point if the Earth actually rotated. On flat Earth, what actually is going on is the sun is rotating around us. And it's a little spotlight that rotates. It's pretty cool, dude. Everything is super well explained. It's just the only problem. What would keep a sun and a moon in the sky moving? That's the only question I have about flat Earth. It's like, what is that? Why would they move? And in the weird way too. Sun would have to move in a weird pattern to make up for seasons and to make sure that there's this 24-hour sunlight in the Arctic, basically. But, it's somewhat explainable. Oh, the sun just makes bigger circles or smaller circles. That's the way it works. And it's kind of like, it's cool. We have seasons. The God created seasons. The God is fucking awesome, basically. If you just contribute all this creation to the God, it makes sense. Like, why would we have all these things randomly generated? Are you kidding me? We have perfect living conditions, but they're randomly generated. But they're so perfect. Again, the seasons themselves are magic, basically. The fact that we have tamed it, we don't have to run away from winter all the time, migrate to, just like birds do. That's nice. We figure things out. We're able to, build our technology quite well in these randomly generated conditions of life. Again, I want to just go back to the first point ever and just remind you guys, it's such big bullshit. There's so many reasons not to believe in round Earth, like so many. And there's the checkmate reason of what do you observe? What is your experience? It is flat experience. There's nothing you can say to me that, negate that. But I believe in science. I am much, much cooler person. It's definitely not propaganda, which, government constantly does that. A lot of governments around the world propagate things, for sure. We should be 100% sure about that. In other words, governments are capable and would be totally fine to lie to people. Alright? They would do it. That's what propaganda is just to make sure that people are in line of some kind of mindset. And if, if government spends so much money in science, it's like, well, whatever science says, that's what we're going to propagate. That's what we're going to make sure that people believe in. And, we believe that shit, if the government supports that, there's no escape. We have to learn that in schools. There's just no escape. We're going to be censoring flat earth content and other conspiracy theories content because that's against the government. Conspiracy theory. Holy shit. Government is conspiring against you and telling you lies? That's impossible, dude. So, but that always happens. It's almost like unescapable. Also, I meant fine. It'd be totally fine to lie to people. It's just a simple power dynamic. It's like, well, everyone would lie as much as they could if they had a good story behind it. You know, Round Earth is amazing story. It is the best crafted story ever. It has so many plot holes, but you wouldn't think that it has. You know, you would just like, well, it kind of works. I'm fine with that. It's just you're not questioning anything if you're fine with it. When you start questioning, it gets fucking weird. Why would people believe that at all? It gets really weird. Nobody wants to go against the system. And again, I am lucky. We are lucky that there's flat earth content out there that, enlightened me. I probably wouldn't give a fuck about this stuff, but now I do, and I'm excited because it's so bad. It is so wrong that, we have to talk about it. This is important. It's a great argument of bullshit being fed to us. And we're not able to actually change our minds, or we'll be called stupid or something. That's crazy. People are not questioning anything. They just think that's stupid and they're fine with it. But there's definitely a problem with that. And it teaches us about a lot of things, I'm sure. And if there's a very good argument to believe in flat earth. Alright? Make these investments while you can. The government is not actively trying to hunt down flat earthers right now, which is pretty cool. Alright? Because if they try to do that, it would be pretty, hard to hide the truth. People want to know the truth, right? People will be like, why would you hunt them down, though? But at the same time, people would just be like, oh, they're stupid, so they deserve it. It's edgy, dude. It's like flat earth could be possibly illegal. But I don't know if governments can get away with that. So they're probably not doing it for that reason. But while that's the case, it's a great investment. Believe in flat earth, and if that's true, you win a lot. If that's not true, you just change your mind and move on with your life. But if you believe something that people don't want to believe, but eventually they change their mind, they have to change their minds, you win, dude. You're the one that enlightened people, basically. So you're the one who were interested in that subject in the first place. That turned out to be truth eventually. That turned out to be relevant. So it's a very important investment to actually care about these things. And believe them, whether they're true or not, Believe in crazy things. It's a great investment, actually. Yeah, in other words, it's free to believe. So you should just believe whatever you want, honestly. But the best thing to do is believe in logic. That you can logically figure things out. Then it's a lot easier, because then you're like, oh, I have all the tools I need to figure things out. All I have to do is just think about it. Because that's how God did it. He just thought about it and it became reality. Eventually. And thinking about it could have involved a lot of work, but eventually it turned into knowledge. Knowledge is like super, super valuable, right? If you have the right knowledge, you can become easily rich and easily, happy. And what else would you need, right? But the God did not equip us with knowledge for a good reason. It wouldn't be interesting to live with all the knowledge. We are, as creatures, we have to follow the rule of not having any knowledge when we are born. Alright? We have instincts, we follow our parents' example, and, the rules that we're born with. We're born with brain after all. We're born 9 months old. That's what we're born with. We're born with a decent body already. So there's already some priming going on. We're already ready to do certain things. Like breathing. We don't think about that as babies. Jesus Christ. We don't have to learn that. We kind of figure that shit out. But we still have just tiny amount of knowledge. We still have to expand that. Test things out. Grow for that matter. And that's kind of the beauty of life, basically. And the most important thing to look at, why I'm pretty sure we're likely to be made by God, basically. We just have to look at ourselves and be like, how would we create things? We don't just create a bunch of randomness, right? We don't just create a big bang of randomness. We actually have a vision of what we want to create, and we try really hard to make it work in best way possible. And we made Minecraft eventually, which is how our real life works, That's Minecraft. That's the best game ever because it allows a lot of freedom to manipulate the environment. Minecraft replicates real life a lot, really well. It's the best game ever. And we're gonna make a better Minecraft eventually. I still don't know why we haven't made it yet. But Jesus, we have to do that eventually. And again, it took a lot of people to eventually make Minecraft. Notch didn't just came up with Minecraft himself. He had to pick up a special engine for it and figure out how it works and all that shit. And start with really basic features, but he grew Minecraft really fast, I think, still. He was a great programmer. I mean, unbelievable work. We can barely replicate that, and we're still waiting for Minecraft to be beaten by something more, I don't know, much better than Minecraft. That's what we're looking for. Anyways, is there any more arguments that we possibly need? I could just look up the internet of like, why the earth doesn't fall into the sun. Let's do that. The question I want to answer today is a weird question. Huh. Why is it weird, dude? You shouldn't be weird, unless you're coming up with some stupid shit. Like a story about gravity. Because that's what keeps everything together is gravity. Something we never really observed. We just know things fall down, but we never observe things attract other things besides magnets. So It's crazy. It's a wonderful story, but like, you definitely came up with that. So tell me, dude, how does the Earth doesn't crash into the sun? Please tell me that. Whoops! The Earth is more attracted to the sun than the sun is to the Earth. Very interesting. Which means there's a counter arrow this direction all the time, and there's, for some reason, forward momentum too. But, you know, there has to be an equal power on the opposite sides to keep this thing in the same line. You know, and if it's rotating, you know, there still has to be an equal force. Otherwise, it would slowly fall down. You know, so where is he gonna find that force? I want to tell you how successful it has been. Gravity is super awesome, you know. The thing is, because we came up with this round Earth and it works so well, we're just trying to reinforce it as much as possible without questioning it, right? So if it's like, if the Earth is rotating around the sun, of course it's not falling into the sun because it's not falling into the sun. It's like, wow. So we have to come up with excuses of why it's not falling into the sun instead of actually, you know, realizing, well, it doesn't make sense. Earth should fall into the sun. We don't question that because we want to just like, well, of course it doesn't fall into the sun. We know why. You know, the science would want to, you know, put themselves in that position that, of course, they know why. But I don't think they do. I don't think there's going to be a counter arrow to that force. Where would that arrow come from? Just where? Okay, he pulls out a pretty interesting story. A comet went all the way around the sun or something. That's interesting. That's an interesting observation. Now, whatever happens far away in the sky, it's hard to explain, alright? But yeah, we have all these crazy models that we have all these planets too. Crazy. I think it's pretty crazy that we know so much just from observing everything from the Earth itself. One important thing I forgot to mention, which is amazing. We can't visit the moon again because of radiation. So how did we get to the Mars then? And how did we get to the moon as well? And I don't know. I guess radiation only attacks people, so we can just send whatever we want to Mars. But why aren't we sending anything to the moon that, you know, we don't pilot? Then that means that radiation does matter to any aircraft. It doesn't matter whether it's with people or without. But that they give you that reasoning. But it's like, how did we get to the moon in the first place? You know, it's so stupid. That alone is the stupidest thing. It's like, well, we're not going back to the moon because we can't. Well, that's interesting. we can't? That's pretty interesting. Again, I'm not going to give you the exact clips of everything. You have to find that out yourself. It might not be very easy to do. But if you're researching Flat Earth, you're just going to bump into these facts eventually. The most common fact that you're going to bump into government is protecting Antarctica for some reason. And some dude, Admiral Byrd, was like, there's more land out there. What? What are you talking about? Antarctica doesn't have land. It's ice. What land are you talking about? But, that was weird. I'm not gonna give too much credit on that. I'm just like, why can't we go to Antarctica at all? Why is it off limits? Why the government is protecting it? And that's a pretty big question. Because, also it's very funny how compasses work. They only point north. They're not pointing north and south at the same time. There's a reason to believe that south doesn't even exist. That south is everywhere, all around us. That Antarctica is a ring around us. And there's one more thing. Weird flight patterns. It's hard to explain it. It's very easy to just see the flat Earth and be like, oh, it's a straight line. That's how all flights work, and that's kind of the argument that people make. It's hard to actually observe anything, but planes do emergency landings for refueling or for other reasons, and they make these landings in very weird spots that you wouldn't explain on round Earth, but otherwise on flat Earth it makes total sense. It's a straight line. That's how flights should work in the first place. And I've seen a video that says exactly that flight map is flat. That's how all planes operate. They have this flat map, pretty much, and they follow that. And that's the real big question. I never heard anyone ask the pilot of how they really operate the plane, how they find the right direction, how they adjust everything. What is the map? How does the map look like? Because if it's truly flat, because again, I'm just one video said it, and I totally believe it, because it makes sense. But yeah, if they just use flat map, it's well, that's a crazy good argument for flat Earth at this point. Crazy, amazing argument number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 arguments. I don't think I have any more. But it's already as crazy as it gets. We can launch satellites with gravity, and we can accelerate them around the sun. I don't think there are any satellites that aren't anywhere near the sun, okay? Or anything for that matter. I don't think gravity is being used at this point. I think they just use balloons. That's what I seen on the videos. But yeah, this guy's full of stories, dude. There's a little blimp here of gravity, where the planet would just kind of move a little bit. How would you detect that? That's crazy. And this blimp would move, because the reason why it happens is of another planet, which was not yet discovered, too, which is kind of crazy. Ah, interesting. Interesting story. I like it, dude. I like it. We haven't answered a question. He's like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, that's how I feel right now. But I'm happy. Because I'm like, it should make sense. We should be able to observe things in order to make sense. Right? We should be able to observe gravity somehow without all these telescope bullshit. Wait, it's like, seriously, that's the only way? You just use a telescope to figure out gravity? I don't know, man. I don't know. If that's the only way, then it's kind of like I don't care. Even if round Earth is true, it's like I don't care because nothing makes sense. The story of flat Earth is way more compelling at this point. It has way more arguments against this stupid round Earth bullshit. So many more arguments that you have to debunk it with like really elaborate story, which you cannot process, because you don't have the experience needed. If you just worked through the telescope and you looked at things that are not Earth, what are you gonna... You gonna talk about Earth? When you were not looking at Earth in the first place? That's the problem. There is no possible proof of this bullshit. And yet we believe it. And yet even this guy is like, what? This doesn't make sense. It's so funny, dude. So, yeah, the coolest thing ever is like, well, at some point, the Earth has been thrown towards the sun, and it started spinning, and it created this exact ellipse, right? That needed somehow, somehow something entered its orbit. That is crazy, dude. You can just do that? You can just enter an orbit and not just, be slightly tilted in a different direction and fly off anyways? You can be caught by an orbit? That's pretty interesting. And it's like, well, that's how we get a satellite off Moon, too. We just caught a fucking rock, a piece of rock flying. It's a pretty big rock, though. I'm not gonna lie. And we caught that, and we not caught that with any other means of, like, crashing that rock into ourselves. We just caught it, and it's there forever. Stuck, basically, rotating around us. It's fucking stuck, dude. And it's stuck in the weirdest thing ever, where it's rotating toward... It always faces the same way. It's just, oh man. Yeah, dude, I believe this shit. This is amazing. If we assume the Earth is flat, dude. No, maybe you should assume the Earth is flat. Maybe, just maybe. I'm just saying, dude. Maybe, but we're not. It is definitely curved, dude. All these signs told me that. Okay. Oh, yes, I do have another problem. With the Earth, right? Planes would have to constantly dip down to not fly off the Earth. That's something flat earthers talk about too. Why the planes don't fly off? If they just fly in the straight line most of the time, they don't care about adjusting the level in which they fly at. They're not adjusting that constantly. They would have to constantly adjust that. They would have to dip down a little bit to adjust. Because if you're flying in a straight line, as this guy is drawing, if a plane is flying in a straight line, which is what would normally happen, it would just fly off, right? So it has to dip down constantly, but nobody confirmed that the pilots basically did not confirm that. The pilots see the flat Earth, confirm the flat Earth, and this doesn't happen. This is an art. I forgot, what was the number again? 16? Some astronomical number? Yeah, it's exactly 16 points against 3 points. Actually, it's now 17 points. And this crown should be 3 points instead. So it's more like 19 points against 3 points. I guess this should be a different emoji, just like the crown. It's like, why would they lie to us? I'm so frustrated. Because everyone is hiding. It's like, but you don't want to go against the system, right? The system has employed you, and you have to follow the rules, dude. Of course, nobody's gonna snitch on that fucking around Earth bullshit. But at the same time, so many people would have to hide it. So many people would have to play the part of like, oh, I went to the moon, but we can't go there, but, you know, we went there anyways. It definitely happened. With shitty technology, which we cannot recreate anymore. Which is why we can't go there. So... I'll just put a sad face at this point. Okay, I cannot do that. Can I say sad? What can I do, dude? I need a... I guess an angry face? I don't know. I'll just say confounded. That's a cool one. Confused? Not confounded. Like, why would everyone fucking hide it? So we have 5 against 19. 5 arguments against 19. Or at least points of arguments. If I throw very fast, then it's gonna be in such a weird angle that it will constantly fall, actually. You know, it's gonna do the most magical thing ever. It's gonna stop falling and start falling constantly. Changing its direction. Doing the most weirdest thing ever, dude. It will create an orbit. If we just launch it just right. Just perfectly. I think that's an actual interesting thing to think about, because we already like thinking about like why would sun and moon rotate around the Earth if it's flat, right? Wait, do satellites? I don't know that, and it's just weird. It just seems like every satellite would do that, and they kind of do that. They kind of slowly rotating, like, but who knows? Who fucking knows? And who knows how that works? Maybe in a special place where things start rotating. But it wouldn't make much sense. So I guess I found another counter argument to flat Earth. That's pretty cool. So the counter direction comes from this. It splits basically as it rotates. So because of rotation, it's like slightly here this way. So it gives slight arrow here, but like I guess that's enough. Barely enough to counter the gravity, but the problem is to do it accurately, to generate this stupid random bullshit where Earth accurately rotates around and nothing bad happens to it. And it's just like, oh, it's perfect, dude. Of course it's perfect. That's how humans appeared on the Earth. It had to be perfect. But yeah, it's crazy how perfect things have to be to actually create an orbit. That to me is mind-blowing. Because any force happens to be in a weird way, and things will start falling and things will start detaching. Creating a perfect orbit, I think, is like super difficult thing to do. I think it might be possible, but it's like, what the hell are we talking about? Things would fall down slowly or slowly rise. Creating a perfect orbit is just, it seems like one of those super difficult things to happen. Like, really difficult things. There's nothing to slow the Earth down. Well, who cares about the speed of the Earth? If it's too fast, it's gonna detach from the sun, and if it's too slow, it's gonna fall into the sun. But there's nothing to slow the Earth down, so it can maintain this orbit. You know, that's pretty cool, right? I'm sure there are things that can slow down the Earth, like its own rotation around itself. I'm sure that can be an impact. Maybe I just coming up with bullshit because, like, you have Beyblades, they spin around and that's not a problem. That there's speed? I don't think. Okay, that's fine. I don't know, dude. I just coming back to the same problem that it's very unlikely to happen. Like, so unlikely. Like, why would anything like that happen? Especially like a solar system create a system of planets surrounding the sun, an entire system of perfect circles, of planets being in a perfect distance to speed ratio of, like, what the fuck? Perfect? Really? And the problem is, like, where did these planets even come from? We don't actually encounter wandering planets, do we? It's like comets, but aren't comets like smaller than planets? Why comets not considered as planets? It's like, there's some more questions to the story, but, like, I don't even care. It's so stupid. It explains how it's possible. It doesn't explain. It doesn't even tell you that the odds are very small that this would happen. You know, just launching things into Earth's orbit is pretty crazy. But somehow people do it, you know. People launch satellites. I don't know how they work. They don't necessarily have to work that way on flat Earth, but, you know. Thanks for explanation. Now I know, and I will never question anything ever again. I will never have more questions. I don't know, this is not even a popular video. Like, why the solar system can exist. Oh, that's interesting. The Earth stays in its orbit the same way the marble stays in the bottom of the bowl. How do you come up with this shit, dude? The number of dimensions we live in? Holy shit. The number of dimensions we live in, dude. Sure, dude. He's just saying it's like very likely that you will start orbiting the sun. You know, it's super likely. Only if you change 2 dimensions to 4 dimensions, then it's fucking crazy, dude. Then you fall into your doom or like pass by. What the fuck, dude? This is from 2012, dude. It's crazy. And it's crazy popular, too. People gobble up science like fucking candy. They love it. Thank you, Stable Orbits, for without you, life as we know it, and especially cheese, would not exist, right?
Life as we know it, and especially cheese, would be impossible.
Would be impossible. Of course, impossible. Oh my god, dude. Thank you, randomness. For God does not exist and could have not possibly created anything, you know. But we're humans, we can create things. You know, we're not gods, by no means, of course not. We're not as good as gods. The fact that we can create things means nothing. It would be impossible. Oh my god, dude. That's what we believe in. We believe in this thing. It's like, at least flat Earth makes sense, dude. At least it makes sense. And everything starts making sense. Like, the way governments behave, Jesus Christ. Antarctica is off limits. We're gonna fucking bomb. Basically throw nukes into space. And actually hit something with nukes? What is that, dude? It all comes together as like we're in a closed dome, some kind of system where people already described it in the Bible, where it's like, but you wouldn't trust the Bible, obviously. It's the stupidest thing that people come up with. It's like, well, we can definitely trust the Bible. We can definitely... No, fuck off with that. We're living in a new technological age. We have to trust the technology. And most importantly, trust our intuition, our logic, our observations. We should trust that, for fuck's sake. I mean, at some point I have to make a video about religion, right? That religion is bullshit. But it's just so obvious, I don't even have to worry about it. There's a lot of people atheists already, but at the same time, what if religion is not bullshit? What if I have to ask the question just because it might be substantial? But the problem is religion has been turned into bullshit, where there's no reason to believe it. That's why there's a lot of atheists out there. There's no reason to believe in God right now. Where is God? I didn't observe God, but at the same time, you observed life. Life is a pretty magical thing, and God does not have to exist in a human form anyways, and perform miracles or something. It can exist as a consciousness, basically, that comes up with this as a dream, basically. As a dream, just like we dream, the God is dreaming this reality specifically, and it happens to be a very real dream where we're experiencing it as a very real reality. Well, our dreams, because we're not as good of a gods as God is, we cannot come up with a dream like this with crazy consistent rules. Everything just breaks in our dreams, so we're not good gods. But there is God out there that just came up with this shit, and it's much better quality, basically, than what we could do ever. Because we're just creatures within this universe, so But yeah, we just have to constantly question ourselves and fucking, what's wrong with us? How do we come up with this round earth bullshit? But again, we just trust authority way too much. That's kind of what we have to take away from this. When we start talking to each other, then it's an easy way to learn things, you know? Easy way to trust things. Because you don't expect random human beings to have some kind of agenda to lie to you or anything. But when we're talking about the government, it's a different story. You might be lied to just because government can do it, and might have some weird reasons to do it. But it still doesn't answer the question, why would they do it? Specifically, this question is like, and it's a big deal. That's why people bump into it and they shut down immediately. Just like for me, this was the opening moment for me. It's like, whatever I observe is the reality, and no one can tell me otherwise. I will never go to space. I will never see the round Earth anyways. So whatever I observe is the reality. So this is the argument that wakes me up for forever, basically. There's nothing I can do about it. And the fact that, there's a lot of people that would have to hide the flat earth, I don't care. They probably are hiding it. It's just a much more fun narrative that way. To treat these people as liars, basically. It's much, much more fun. Yeah, look at this again, and it's like, what is bigger miracle, Jesus or Skyrim? I don't know, dude. I think Bible is pretty shit right now. We didn't get any good technology from the past. And ways of thinking, we're gonna keep the same way of thinking. It's just not gonna happen. But the fact that, throughout history everyone thought the earth was flat, that is important to consider, right? Because that is a normal perception. That's how you would believe things would be constructed, and it's very clearly said what it is, right? It has a dome and it's flat. It cannot move, and it doesn't have to move. It's just such a simple construction, anyways. It's technically how Minecraft works, except the sun, travels around as a spotlight instead of diving down. Minecraft does not make sense with sun diving down into the earth, but that's how we perceive it. It's a weird thing, right? The problem is it's not a good argument, but I will say that it is. I'll just pretend, alright, that you have another argument. The sun looks like it goes straight down. It has been proven that it's kind of like an illusion. And some videos even show that the Earth, the sun shrinks, which is impossible. But I'm just gonna pretend that it's all false. That is also an illusion somehow. And the sun actually goes down, and it's like, what? That's crazy, dude. Now the problem is, and there's another point. I didn't thought there was another point, but there's point number 20. We have to deal with censorship for some reason. You just won't find flat earth channels that easily. You have to know exactly how they're called to be able to find them. I'm not gonna list all of them. You just it's enough to just check Eric Dubay, I think. But the best thing to do is just to go to Odyssey, honestly. Just alternate version of YouTube, pretty much. There's plenty of flat earth content there. But also a very good place to look at is just TikTok. There's not enough debunking videos on TikTok. When people post hashtag flat earth, they really do justice. Some people make stupid mistakes like, oh, the earth is a pancake and would have a gravitational pull in the center. Or some bullshit like, oh, the global warming is a very big problem because it will melt Antarctica around the earth, and the waters will spill out into space. I mean, some stupid shit like that. But you can find good arguments there. Like, one of the coolest things that I found is like, oh, the government itself has documents where it says flat earth. Flat, non-rotating earth, basically. Assuming flat, non-rotating earth. Why would you assume that, you piece of shit? Government? Don't do that. Assume what already you established. You know, like, what? There's no curvature. We don't worry about curvature at all. About ever. It's like, it's not there. But when we go out of space, it's always there. Yeah, and it's almost like the weird flight patterns, almost a good enough argument to like be 3 points. Because like it really makes no sense. Unless the earth is flat. If you really look into it. The problem is I don't know at all about flights, honestly. I don't have that experience. I just know it's a very good argument if it really works that way. And it is the weirdest thing, dude. Why would everyone hide it from us? But that's fine. If you're gonna invest in a false thing, I'm just gonna win a bunch of money basically from that. Because once people really start considering flat earth, like for real, and it's kind of crazy, the statistic is that in America it's 20% of people believe in flat earth. That isn't that a little bit too much? I don't think there's enough views on YouTube that, you know, makes up for that. You really need to research the shit out of it. And I don't think, you know, Eric Dubay would have at least 1 million subscribers or something, but he has 100,000. I guess you would just look into it and be like, oh, I see. But no, you have to really look deep into it. You have to subscribe to that idea. Otherwise, you won't have a full picture of how bullshit it is. I mean how bullshit it is to believe in round Earth. Cool. What else can we talk about? Yes, I forgot one more point, actually. Point number 21. We can see things in a distance that we shouldn't because of the curvature, right? There's some weird math involved. People say it's 8 miles, 8, I don't even know, dude. 8 inches per mile squared or something? I don't care. It's just an argument that is being put out there. That seems pretty elaborate. From high distances, we shouldn't be able to see certain things. But we do see it. We can't see everything from flat Earth. But we certainly see some very distant objects. Like, we cannot possibly see Mount Everest. It takes just a fucking house to obstruct an entire Mount Everest from you. But it's even worse. The Mount Everest is so far away. It's just so tiny. In actuality, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's just ridiculously far away from everyone. But that would be interesting, like, from what distance can you see Mount Everest actually? Because it's probably it would probably be a crazy distance. I just don't like this argument too much, because it's like, well, I don't care about the math. I can't possibly know how distant things should be to not be able to see them anymore. But it's just something to reinforce the story of, like, people are doing actual science and they're finding things that are weird. And the round earther was like, oh, it's just a mirage, dude. Like, what? What the fuck? You can see things from a distance and it's just a mirage? You're trying to, explain it away just like that? As if you know what you're talking about? It's a mirage. Sometimes you see it, but sometimes you don't know. It was consistent too. That is an interesting way to say it, right? Why some people still believe in the Earth is flat? Still, wow. At least they have an accurate image, technically, of how it would look like. Oh, Professor Dave comes back, dude. That's amazing. This guy gave me the idea of gravity. That it's like, well, what would happen if gravity would not exist? Where would this be downforce? This is the guy, dude. He comes back 1 month. He really gets the views out of this shit. I don't think anything else he does matters to the world, but maybe it does. He's uploading a lot of stuff and it gets very little views. He has 2 million subscribers. That shouldn't happen, right? He should get at least 100,000 views and he doesn't. Like, nobody gives a fuck about this guy. But when he talks about flat Earth, oh my god, that is a very important science. It's pretty crazy because this guy's supposed to be, like, pretty smart, right? Look at all these things that he cares about. Like, he's very scientific. I hope. The thing is, you can dive so deep into the science of things and really, really, I don't know, dude. It's a whole nother world, basically. Science is a whole nother world. There's a lot to explore there. So, and again, I'm sure he's pretty smart, but again, he cannot observe the Earth. He cannot do observations. He's just kind of taking flat Earth points and just like, oh, they're pretty stupid, honestly. That's what made him popular, dude. Flat Earth. He should be thankful, honestly. So anyways, let's see those 5 worst arguments. Spectroscopy has to be in a container. That is the dumbest thing that was said by a human being. Let's laugh at that. No one understands what is he talking about, but you know. I guess we're gonna debunk that, right? I guess the Flat Earth Dave. Wait. Professor Dave. I don't know why I said Flat Earth Dave. Makes an interesting point. It's like there is South Pole stars. It's like, how does that work? If South Pole doesn't exist, why is there a rotation around South Pole? Star rotation, basically. But I don't know. I've never observed that. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just an argument that it kind of hurts. You know, it's like, well, I guess if you know what you're talking about. You being a dick to all of science, we are so much smarter than you. You know. That is being a dick right there. It's like, well, science is so much smarter than you. Science has been established for years and years and is the greatest technology of all time. I don't give a fuck about science that much. Technology is amazing, but science, I don't know, dude. I only care about logic and things. Like, I don't really like what science dives into and tries to explain things. It's just a weird thing. Like, you're not satisfied. You really want to know all the chemistry, all the biology, all the deep diving things. Like, I don't know. Why would you want to know that? It just works, you know. Like, why would you dive in so deep and try to look at how reality works in a deep level? It's a little bit curious, but like, is it really? The curious part is like, well, we're gonna find out something about reality. We're gonna be able to manipulate reality in some way. That's the important part. But I've never seen science actually shine. It's just the technology that shines. And yes, it has to do something with science, but like, science on itself is kind of weird. It's kind of useless. It's just kind of experiments, observations, and all that shit. Which again, human beings should just be able to observe things on their own terms and figure out what level of science they can actually handle instead of diving too deep. And again, Professor Dave just doesn't make popular science videos. He doesn't even know how to do that. It's a hard thing to do, but like, science is really not interesting to people. Neither is technology, honestly. But people figure out, oh, there's AI that can make images, and that's very interesting. Technology is ridiculously, also like all these filters on TikTok. People are using tons of filters. Like it's crazy. They're not doing any science. They're enjoying technology. That's the difference, you know. But for me, I enjoy thinking about things. And that is as scientific as you can get. You know, you're trying to piece together how reality works based on your observations. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, what is more likely right now? That is what I'm trying to figure out. There's a magnetic North Pole and there is a actual North Pole. And these are different things. And magnetic North Pole moves. Okay. That's weird. It sounds like an argument, but it sounds to me like it's the weirdest thing ever. You know, when the flat earth makes sense where things like that align together, and it's like, I don't know if you can make accurate observations of whether magnetic North Pole moves. Observation like that is hard to do, dude. To make it as an argument to support round Earth is kind of weird, dude. What? This is magnetic and it moves? What the fuck? Are you serious? He knows he's lying for cash and does not want to discuss reality whatsoever. Fight the flat earth, dude. Yeah, dude. Cool. I mean, that's what a scientist would do. Because we're attacking the entire field of science at this point. Astronomy. What is that? That's as stupid as it can get. You know, just observations with a telescope or something is not good enough. You have to have observations of actual things in space. And it's gonna be really tough to actually observe that. To actually travel and observe things and create this experience. So it's like, wait, what's the point of observing space too much? We're gonna find things? We're gonna travel there at some point? I don't think so. You know, we might be able to travel to Mars if it exists, because there's some evidence to say that it doesn't exist, that Mars is all a hoax, and it's supposed to be a hoax. Because like, how can you travel to Moon and can't travel to Mars? What? Things weigh more on the North Pole than the equator. Really? You have proven this? I should put a fucking point in there? It makes sense, right? Things weigh more in the equator. Oh my god. I mean, wow. How much more? 1%, 2%? You can make profit by weighing gold at the equator and going north. That's pretty interesting. But they do something else. They don't weigh gold on scales. How did they weigh that again? Tell me. Counterbalance scales. That's interesting. This is why, right? Okay, that sounds like an argument. Is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but you know, you need that argument for sure to make things work. Things weigh less in the equator than in North Pole. Okay, cool. Even to me, it makes sense. Daylight is not from the sun. It mostly comes from the sky. Ish. Because the sun dips down and there's still daylight. You know, like, what? But, yeah, it's from the sun. But it's like, why would people catch this guy off guard like this? It's kind of weird. And it's like, oh, we win. This is a great argument. This is what flat earthers say. What the fuck? This is just one debate that they're analyzing, basically. They should just say our flat earth debate. Cool. It's cool that they're analyzing things, but like, I don't know where to put it. To me, it is weird. And I'm not gonna lie. Why do we have 27-hour sunlight? But, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna give a star to myself anymore. Because I don't know how it works. They made an entire list of things, basically. It's not a terribly big list, is it? Okay. Is there proof of that? And no one can go there from actual people to observe what is the sun, how does the sunlight works on Antarctica. But yet we're like, oh, it's the dumb thing to say. What the fuck, dude? But at the same time, who would go there anyways? But like, okay. The government is protecting that fucking place. Please. We cannot actually figure this out. And this is a crux for sure. What the There is a picture of Antarctica from space? That would be amazing, dude. What the fuck? Whatever he thinks is stupid is... I don't know, dude. It's just what he disagrees with. But it's not actually stupid. It's like, well, that's what we believe in, dude. What the hell? We don't think it's stupid. All of these dumb things have been said in 1 hour. He's trying to put arguments together, dude. He's not trying to say dumb things. Like, what the hell? You said 5 worst arguments, you know. It's not dumb things, it's arguments. I don't care if it's dumb or not. It's it is trying to convince you with something. You know, if it's dumb, it's a weak argument. What? That's That's not what he meant. What the fuck? There's no... But why is there shade? If the sun lights up the sky so it would light up everything. Actually, the shade is not completely black. If you have never seen a fucking shade, it's not completely black. So it's lit up a little bit from the sky itself. There's a global illumination happening. It's pretty crazy, dude. And he doesn't mention that at all. So this is from Antarctica. The sun looks pretty big. Cool, dude. Why is it... I guess it's big because of the clouds or something. No, there's no clouds there. What the hell? At this point, it's like, I'm reinforcing the argument of like, can we really trust the government right now to give us this bullshit? Because, again, we don't get anything from space. We don't get... Because we cannot leave Earth's orbit. It's just... That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. I don't care what you observe on the Earth. Well, I actually do care what you observe on the Earth. I don't care what you observe on Antarctica. Because there are no legit people going there and observing things there. But you have this video, which is fucking crazy. This is what we have been waiting for. Absolutely. If that's true, that's amazing. Everything is still super flat, though. I think this is a good argument on our side. Very good argument. Why does ice exist? Because of indirect sunlight? What? But there's sun right there. It should heat up the fucking ball of Earth. Should heat up the entire ball of Earth. Why isn't it doing that? You know? Why is there fucking ice places? Why is there fucking winter at all? Should heat up the entire ball equally. The Earth is super small. It's like, and it's spinning too, so it distributes heat too. And but why does ice exist at all, dude? See, the thing is, the science then claims that it's the sunlight rays that cause heating. It's the rays of the sun. It's not the sun's heat. The sun's heat cannot travel as well as the sunlight's heat. Sunlight's heat? Sunlight's heat? Are you fucking kidding me? The heat of a sunlight? I don't know, it just makes sense to me that it doesn't make sense. You know, when I imagine Earth, it wouldn't have any ice on it. Everything would melt. Just straight up everything based on the distance from the sun. And not like, oh, you know, it's a little bit indirect sunlight, so it's not as hot. No, it's just the distance to the sun, dude. I don't care if it's a little bit further away from the sun or not, but for some, that's the crazy thing, dude. When we're talking about flat Earth, it makes sense because the sun is not very distant. It's straight up above something and it heats that thing up. It makes sense. But with round Earth, the sun is same distance all the time from the Earth. and should heat up the whole thing while it's night. There shouldn't be colder at night, honestly. That much colder at night. But the fact that ice even exists in some places is kind of fucking crazy. The thing is, when you take a magnifying glass, you can actually concentrate sun's rays into a heat beam, basically. So it's a good counter-argument, honestly. You can take a magnifying glass and concentrate heat. A heat beam. Yeah, that makes sense now. Actually. I just don't know why it makes sense, so it doesn't completely counter the argument. It's 1 point in, 1 point out. I don't know, it's very interesting how it works. I don't understand why there are seasons different on south than the north. You know, if the seasons are explained that the earth is closer to the sun, then the entire earth should experience seasons, but it's not because of that. But it's... What? Just what? The confusion. This confusion is unreal. Seasons are confusing. The Earth is closer or tilted. I don't know, cause like is it the tilt of the Earth that makes the seasons, or the Earth getting closer to the sun? Cause it gets closer. That's what they say. It gets closer, but you know the entire Earth gets closer, not the South Pole or anything. So the tilt matters too. But it's like, so what actually causes seasons? What is this bullshit? You know, and wouldn't the Earth be hotter when it gets closer? What? And it gets closer every year, so it, you know, it should make its own season too. I don't know, dude. It's confusing to me. It's definitely a point. So they just say it's the tilt, right? It's not because the Earth gets closer to the sun. So let's ask the internet. Earth's orbit around the sun isn't a circle. Many people believe that it's closer to... The Earth is farthest from the sun in July and closest to the sun in January. In January! So it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense, dude! What? So it should behave what? Oh, man. I still don't like that it's a point or something. I'll just say it's tilted. But closer, too. Sometimes. And it doesn't cause seasons at all. It has nothing to do with seasons. It actually has the opposite effect on the North Pole. Because it's on January, you know. What? It's crazy, dude. Yeah, it makes sense that, you know, the atmosphere retains the heat, and when it's nighttime, it's not as cold as in the poles. Yeah, sure, it makes sense, I guess. What? Oh, direct sunlight is like a circle. Indirect sunlight, that it's not a bigger circle. It's a little bit skewed circle. Uh, is it that much colder there? For that reason? That makes no fucking sense, dude. Oh my god. It should be way bigger if it's indirect sunlight, you know? It should spread out way more, but it doesn't spread out more. On the poles, it spreads out quite a bit, because it cannot even reach those areas, technically. But here, it's fine. Doesn't look that big. I don't know, dude. It's cool to see the Earth's model and everything, but we have never seen it like that. And, you know, that's always the biggest point of, like, the experience problem. That's what's the problem with science, right? It's weird because, like, all these, like, let's say infections maybe of the body, maybe there's some fucking creatures, bacterias basically infecting your body, and you can't possibly see that, but science can see it. But what is more important, your observation that, oh, there is an infection, or the observation that there is bacteria in there? I don't care about bacteria. I just want to know how the infection works and how to get rid of that. But technically, like, well, there's bacteria. You have to figure out how bacteria works, I guess. Or you can just use logic and logically figure out how to battle bacteria without the need of observation. So technically, yeah, you don't need observation from space. But in this case, you kind of need an observation from space. Just like we have the observation of bacteria. We have it. Why don't we have observation from space to make all these arguments and shit? So can we make our... But then, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It's a really complicated thing to try to grasp. Ah, yes, there's one more thing that makes no fucking sense. Why is Antarctica bigger than the North Pole? You know, very simple question. It's so much bigger. Obviously, it's like, well, there's not that much land in North Pole, so it can't freeze over. Yeah, that I guess. But the water still freezes, right? So I want to know what the size is actually, the freezing effect size of these two areas, basically. Which one is bigger? And why in the North Pole things unfreeze when there is this direct sunlight, 24-hour sunlight, but it doesn't actually unfreeze, does it? Because we just seen a video that it doesn't actually unfreeze, even though it gets the sunlight and everything. there's still ice in there. It's kind of weird, dude. I don't know, man. Around there is just too weird to believe in. It's just too weird. Oh, the moon is spherical, but the Earth is not. What? Is this really NASA astronomer? She's not trying to explain anything. She's like, oh, this looks so weird. This can lead to, I don't need to get vaccinated. Yeah, dude, observations, dude. But at the same time, it's like, well, you do have to get vaccinated to observe whether it works or not. But at the same time, it's a crazy big experiment that is being run on humanity. And who knows what the consequence of that is, of vaccinating people. I do agree with this thing. You know, TV is gonna tell you all about the virus, man. All the weird statistics about the virus when, you know, it's just old people dying. It's like it happens all the time. It's not crazy. But oh, it's just because of virus now. Old people dying. Really? That's interesting. I'm not saying the virus does not exist, but at the same time, what if it doesn't? What if it did not exist at all? What if it's just our reaction to it that creates the virus in the first place? But at the same time, people are being tested. So technically they may or may not find the virus, right? And that's the whole problem. It's so complicated too. And she's like, oh, it saves lives if you make the wrong decision. It will not save lives, whatever. Damn, it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. The right decision, by the way, is not letting economy getting destroyed by COVID, basically. That is the solution, dude, to human life. To negate human suffering as a whole. The entire economy has been fucking stopped. People has been losing jobs. You know what the consequence of that is? It's pretty crazy, dude. People lose their lives for that shit. But no, we have to be careful of this virus thing because it kills people directly, you know. But the indirect consequence is not being talked about at all. We don't care. It's like, we really have to run away from this big threat that we have. No matter how far away from home we're gonna run away from the threat. What if we cannot come back home anymore? And we just die from lack of food, man. Was it worth running away? Or is it just better, you know? I mean, see, the problem is it made sense what people have been doing. Is like, well, let's just stay away from each other, and then the virus will not spread as well. But then the mask mandate is stupid. Was stupid. It's like, it's not like I'm spreading things out of my mouth. You know, it could be that I cough or something. That's pretty bad. It could be that I talk too much. That's pretty bad. But like, how do you spread disease out of your fucking mouth? Otherwise, it's crazy. We just picked it up because, like, well, that's science, guys. That's what authority wants us to do. but there's no actual reason for us to wear masks. It's just like, well, we have to buy another thing, and the government actually forces us to buy something. It's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty bad. It lowers the quality of life significantly. And quality of life is everything. Alright? That's the whole point. If people just die, simply die, their quality of life does not get down. Honestly. Because they probably just respawn. I guess the problem with that is, like, if someone dies, the quality of life of everyone around them who has been dependent on that person, that quality of life reduces. That's fair, but we shouldn't be dependent. It's like, well, if Justin Bieber would have died, the quality of life would have reduced significantly for his fans. But we should not be attached to people that much. I have no objection to alternative theories. I'm glad you don't, dude. Tested and tested. Cool. Yeah, sure. That's my test. And it worked in my favor. Alright? I did found weird things about the Earth, about Flat Earth too. But it's not good enough to debunk it. So how do you discriminate from what's true and what's some guy's idea? I have a model now. It's all about countering arguments and getting a good feeling of what is true or not based on that. You know. That is how I do it. This is why I do the video in the first place. It's so exciting to compare how many arguments I have against this bullshit. You have to come up with a lot of bullshit to support your theory. With Flat Earth, it's just super simple. It's just like, well, there's weird things happening above us. But other than that, it doesn't change that the Earth is super flat when you observe it from the ground. See, that is weird, dude. Why is the water doesn't freeze over? Why is there a fucking wall of ice, basically, but the water doesn't freeze over? That's kind of weird. This seems a lot more complicated than the Earth is round. Really? Are you serious? I love flat earthers because they remind me that even though I'm a failure, there's always people even more disappointing than me. From my perspective, this is disappointing, dude. It's like, all you believe is just science. You don't even believe your own observations of the Earth. That is disappointing to me. That is crazy. Imagine having less understanding of the universe than people from thousands of years ago. What? People thought the Earth is flat thousands of years ago. It's just very recently we changed our minds. I don't know why people like this comment. It's just like, oh, we're so stupid that we're like fucking cavemen, dude. We're that fucking stupid. Wow, they're so stupid. I like it. I like science is the best. Flat Earthers is stupid. Wow, the best comment ever. That's the downside of modern society. Every nutjob has access to computer and internet. Sure, dude. And you have the freedom to believe whatever you want. And make up theories about it. And that's the cool part about it. But it's like saying the downside of modern society is the internet. Yeah. No, I like internet. I think it's the greatest piece of technology ever. You shouldn't insult the internet, please. See, that's the problem. It's not that flat earthers are ignorant. Flat earthers are very much interested in what the fuck's going on. Alright? Very interested. They're not ignorant. We just don't have enough proof. There's no way to look from Earth's perspective and see that it's round or something. There's no way to do that. Besides some minor arguments against it, but like, crazy, dude. This is the only smart comment, is like, I so desperately want to see flat earthers go to space. I want to see anyone go to space, please. No one did it. No one fucking did it and took a picture of the Earth. It would be so simple, dude. But no, we have to fucking forge the picture. We have to fake it. We have never been there, so. Or the picture of the Earth from the moon. Like, it would be the most important thing to take, right? Fucking astronauts that have been to the moon. Why they didn't take the picture of the Earth? Please. It blows my mind that someone actually took their time to code this shit. Alternate realities are pretty interesting, don't you think? We code them all the time. We coded Minecraft. You know, it's not working like the Earth, actually. But, you know, no one's complaining about Minecraft, but for some reason people complain, oh man, this guy really fucking did something stupid, man. He reinforced a stupid idea that I don't believe in. Well, some people believe in it. Some people don't think it's stupid. It's just, it's so annoying to see this ignorance that no flat earther gets thumbs up for anything. It's, let's just laugh at them, dude. We cannot go through the massive ice wall of the Antarctica. No, that's not what we're saying. What the fuck? That's how stupid people are, dude. They think they're smart because they're like, well, you just go above the ice. Yes, government does that. Government inhabits Antarctica pretty well. But it doesn't allow us to do it. Not because there's a fucking ice wall that we cannot climb through, but for some other reasons that we don't know about. We're gonna disrupt Antarctica, dude? We're gonna do something bad? Globe Earth is just a theory. The truth is the moon is blah blah blah. How did you test flat Earth? Very simply, I just looked, dude. I just have eyes and I looked. It looks pretty flat, dude. I estimated by looking at it. Yeah, sure. That's a test, too. The looking test. What do you see? Flat Earth. Very simple test. Everyone should do it. Who else are looking for flat earthers in comments? Yeah, that's actually hard to find, isn't it? Because everyone just likes the fact that flat Earth is stupid. You know, that is the most ignorant thing to do. Just laugh at it. But that's what people like. I can't argue with that. You know, that is the greatest argument ever. Well, people don't like flat Earth that much. People like laughing at it. People like being ignorant. I think that's a pretty good argument in general. It's not a good argument for flat Earth, but I think that's the truth, man. They just like it so much. I don't argue with idiots. They drag you down into the realm of stupidity and beat you with experience. Yeah, that's what a smart person would do to you. They would drag you to the realm of stupidity and beat you with experience. That's what a smart person would do. That's why you don't argue with idiots, because they're smarter than you, basically. You cannot drag someone into the realm of stupidity at all. You cannot defend round Earth. You know, you cannot drag me into that realm of stupidity. I don't know, dude. But this part is like the fucking craziest. Beat you with experience. So, isn't that good? What? I have more experience than you. That's pretty good. I heard some flat earthers say gravity isn't real. Things just fall. I'm like, that's literally what gravity is, bro. Yeah, but nothing has gravity besides Earth. On Earth. I don't know, dude. The fact that there is an alternate truth at all is so depressing. Yeah, the fact that your reality is not actually as real as you hoped it was, and it's not as convincing as you hoped it was. That's very depressing. I wish people believed in a certain shape of the Earth that I believe in. I hope it. The problem is it doesn't actually matter, but it kind of matters. It kind of matters, right? That's the problem. We need videos to debunk flat Earth, for sure. It's so depressing that people would believe in this stuff. But it's the same thing as saying, well, people so stupid. Oh my god, I'm so sad. The people that are flat earthers are so brainwashed. Really? We're trying to undo brainwashing, honestly. They could be sent up into space and still not believe that the Earth is a sphere. Are you sure about that? No, I would probably believe that it's a sphere, but, you know, that never happened. I wonder why. Flat Earthers are so stupid that Flat Earth consumed a significant portion of my life. 1100 is no joke on my leaderboard. Okay. What is it? Top flat. 45th place. 45th most important thing that I care about. It's not the most important thing for sure, but it's like it's a topic. It's not even like one channel. It's a collection of channels. But it's just about one topic. How deep can it go? But it goes pretty fucking deep, dude. It's pretty interesting. That alone should tell you that the flat earthers are not stupid, you know. But that's the point. People are just ignorant. And they laugh at others. It's just the coolest thing ever. People just don't have time for this shit. Obviously. and whatever science has been telling them, you know, they just gonna believe it. Because there's so many people that, you know, have been telling you the truth, obviously. They haven't really observed anything. They can't give you pictures from space, but, like, they're telling you the truth for sure. 100%. You don't have the luxury to be ignorant about this. You just don't have it. There's no actual proof. Definite proof, like, for sure. Yeah. And again, I found enough arguments to, like... This is gonna be a long video, right? We're in the hour number 2.5. But I just really want to see the dumb comments that people really like. You know. These are the ones, man. Why isn't the sun melting the ice wall? Yeah, why is that? On around Earth, why is that? What worries me is that these people have way more resources than they should have in this era. People should be able to survive, right? And do things they like to do in a day. You know, whether you're stupid or not, you should be respected. But I guess not, dude. I guess doesn't matter, dude. Dude, if moon that close to the Earth, the sea gonna be like Please check your grammar before saying dude. Dude, I have no fucking grammar knowledge whatsoever. But I'm gonna make a smart argument that people agree with. Because, you know, gravity. Dude, you know, if the moon was so close, then the gravity would just fucking rip the Earth into fucking pieces, dude. Have you thought about that? It's the smartest thing ever, dude. And everyone's like, yeah, that's a very smart thing. Ah, this is a cool one. There's a simple explanation for this. They simply can't comprehend how big Earth actually is. You know, no matter how high we get, yeah, we cannot see any curvature. So it's like, I guess the Earth is ridiculously big. You know, that's what we have to assume if we want to believe in around Earth. We just have to assume that, oh my god, it's so big. Wow. There's no escape. But it's not a simple explanation. It's just like, it's weird. That's the weird part, dude. Earth is that fucking big? That we can observe curvature? But then, where's the spin of the Earth, too? If Earth is that big, and it spins pretty fast. Honestly, it's faster than speed of sound. We can't... There, you know... where's that? This whole entire thing just talks about why gravity is not, like, up. Why things don't fall up or something. It's like, I don't know. I don't know that. That's one good comment out of all these comments. But at the same time, it's a little bit different. It's like, it's such a good argument that flat earthers are incredibly fucking stupid. Amazing. Why down is down? That's how, you know, you just have to turn it into a joke to get likes, man. You just have to face it at this point. People like being ignorant. They just love it. If I made jokes about flat Earth, I would get a lot more attention, right? Flat Earther, just do your own research on YouTube, bro. Actually, you know, YouTube is a pretty good place. Because where else are you gonna go? You can't talk to scientists directly. You cannot ask your teacher about it. Because your teacher is just as dumb as a random person. So, you know, YouTube is a good place of collective intelligence, dude. And the problem is, it's censorship, dude. You can't really research on YouTube. You have to research on Odyssey or someplace else, or TikTok. So, not a good comment by any means. This is the most honest comment ever, right? I can't believe people actually believe in flat Earth. He used believe twice. It's funny. Yeah, dude. I wonder why you can't believe. I wonder what's stopping you. Probably all these people that believe otherwise. Am I right? Just want to be a part of the group. Alright, I think I scraped all of the comments out of here. All the things people believe in is just weird. I'm not saying they're stupid, but like they're definitely ignorant. Especially calling people ignorant is very ignorant. But I'm not just straight up saying they're ignorant. I showed you that they're ignorant. You know. I asked AI why people like being ignorant. People like being ignorant so they can live their lives without having to think about things. They want to be able to go through life without having to make decisions or deal with consequences. You know. Everyone likes to be ignorant, but I don't know, man. I like to be smart. That's what I like to do. It's crazy, I know, but I like to actually research things properly. I actually love flat earthers. They make me feel like I'm Einstein. Oh my god, dude. Again, it's just like, flat earthers so stupid. Oh my god! Ah! I'm freaking out. I'm Einstein right now. Crazy. But that's how you make a good comment. You just go crazy about it. About something you believe in. Oh, I'm sure everyone believes that, right? That's for me what's so fucking ignorant and annoying, dude. It's like, well, she's so stupid. She probably not taking medication to be smart again. Am I right? That's what makes people smart. Am I right? Makes people make smart decisions. Medi-fucking-cation! Magic! I'm so repelled by this person. Oh my god, he's... I respect doctors so much that people fucking should eat medication if there's anything wrong with them, ever. Yeah, that's the biggest point. I'm not gonna give myself a point for that, but we're paying NASA a lot of money. For what exactly? What are we paying, dude? What are we getting in return? We're not getting jack shit! Space exploration, I love that shit. Wow. Not much space exploration is happening at the moment. I don't know, dude. I mean, this is a respectable video. I like it. I'm just so fucking frustrated that flat Earth content is, you know, censored so much. You don't actually get to watch actual videos of them explaining things. But here you can. This video is good enough. I mean, flat Earth debunking videos are kind of good enough to watch. They present you with enough information technically, but some of them are just annoying or just not serious enough. The sun is much bigger than the moon, and that is observable. Fuck yeah, dude! Wow! Observable, too. Are you serious about that? Yeah. But, Mom! Wow, that is... I have never observed sun to be bigger than the moon, dude. Never. In my life. So she couldn't actually answer why the sun doesn't set and rise? Oh my god. Damn it. Take a chill pill, Mom. You didn't answer my question. Just look into flat Earth and you'll figure it out, man. Jesus Christ. You can actually watch scientists making a model of your version of events. Yeah, I would love to see an actual scale of the Earth on, you know, a computer. But that has never been done before. I don't know, man. I just really want to see it, though. That would be interesting proof. No one has photographed the ice wall. Are you serious, dude? Are you fucking... What? There's plenty of photos of that. The Pac-Man... What the fuck? Now that is fucking stupid, okay? No, I don't believe that when you go to one edge, you just fucking appear in the other edge. No, I think there is a fucking dome, and there's enough evidence to support that. But, you know, like, oh my god. Teleports? It's crazy, dude. Of course she's crazy. Now she's crazy, dude. Killed his grandma. We don't need her anymore. She served her purpose. She tried, okay? She tried to understand Flat Earth. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry, dude. You have to put her down. Under the Flat Earth, there is magnets. What the fuck? I understand the sun might be a fucking magnet or something. But holy shit. You really have to put down your grandma. I thought this video was fine. But it's not fine. It is just someone who didn't do research on their own terms, because I don't know, how could you, you know? I don't believe in flat Earth, so I don't have to, you know? I will only believe in science. I will not research anything. I'll just disbelieve what my grandma says and move on with my life. Well, I love this argument. It will appear to sink. Well, it doesn't appear to sink. You can just zoom in and it does not appear to sink. There's no curvature. Don't worry about that. We tried. We tried very hard. If the Earth was flat with good enough telescope, we should be able to see everything, and nothing is obstructed by anything. And at the same time, you know, what is sky made out of? Something. You know, eventually the sky itself will obstruct objects. It will create a fog effect, pretty much. There's plenty of obstruction going on. You can't see everything. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a good point, right? But what we found out is that the flights are really weird, and they're really straight too, and they're pretty fast too. All right. It would take much longer. Whoa. I thought back. Uh, I know I made a point about it, but it's just very important to understand that the air shouldn't rotate. Alright? The air should fall back from the rotation. It would stay in place pretty much. Just like I don't know, I don't have a good example. It's just never ever has I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just don't understand how the air rotates along with the earth. How is it attached to anything? Like that's my problem. So at the same time, like how anything on the sky rotates alongside with the earth. How? I mean, that's a pretty good point. I'm just gonna put it, dude. Flight over Antarctica, please. Just one simple flight. Give me one of those. I will believe around the Earth for you. No problem. Although it's pretty easy to fake this, but it's just it doesn't happen ever. They don't even try to fake this. That's the point. I don't know. It was an okay video, but it says why flat earthers are dead wrong. It doesn't actually explain why they're dead wrong. Because it doesn't actually consider every single argument properly. And it doesn't... the video itself, it's not researching flat earth. It's just researching what the grandma said, basically. It says dead wrong, dude. It's like, what? You're gonna attack a casual person, dude? And because they're casual? You're not a scientist. I can attack you as much as I want. You're fucking stupid, bitch. I have seen this quote fucking 3 times already. 4 times. It's the 4th time, dude. I've talked about this. Beat you with fuck that. Fuck off. Why are you quoting the same fucking shit? Why are you so obsessed with this bullshit? And people like it, too. Oh. So, what is it? An incredible photo shows Mount Everest visible for the first time in decades from Nepalese city of Kathmandu. Reduction in air pollution has made the famous visible city made the famous visible from... Why did they call it the famous? Just call it the fucking mountain, dude. 124 miles away. 100... Do you know how fucking far that is? No, it's not far at all. Just like Lithuania. I don't know, dude. It's still pretty far, dude. But I like how it said Earth, air pollution and all that shit. You cannot see it even around Earth. It's Earth pollution. Please. You know, stop saying that you would be able to see from a large yeah, it's still a large distance. 120 miles, pretty large. Oh, look, it's the same piece of fucking shit again. Man. Why do people believe in quotes? And they're so stupid, but people just what? I don't know, people believing in flat earth is not as stupid as I thought, dude. People believing in this is what's stupid. That they can just quote and get a bunch of likes for that. Congratulate, yeah, that's the quote, man. I'm gonna use it as much as possible on the internet. I'm so entertained, man, by the comments. This is why I don't have comments on my videos, okay? I don't want to fucking see this bullshit. I would rather discuss with a person. It's much more entertaining because it's more back and forth. Flat Earther does not say I'm smart, by the way. What the fuck, dude? This is why you should never let an old person have social media. That's a smart thing to say, am I right? As if social media is some kind of weapon for old people and old people are killing others. What the? How do you come up with this conclusion and people like it, dude? But it's just... That's how it is. Whoa, old people are stupid! They shouldn't have nice things. I'm on the internet. I can call you stupid and I'm gonna be the best person in the universe. Flat Earthers, wait, it's all around? Actually smart people. Raises gun, dude. I don't know, man. If you're smart, you don't need you don't need a gun to make your point, do you? Oh yeah, you do need to be funny, huh? And likable on the internet, of course. Yeah, that's the one, dude. Hey guys, I have a gun. Do you like me now? Yes, I do. Oh my god, you're so cute. Yeah, anyways, I mean, they're laughing at flat earthers. I'm having as much fun laughing at these fucking assholes. They're assholes at this point. They're just assholes. And that is what should bring down your hope in humanity. There's tons and tons of assholes that would love to laugh at you, basically. And that's the way they live life. And I just hate people in general for that shit. And then these assholes are encouraged to do it by all these likes and everything. Like, you will never believe in flat earth ever if there's so much support, you know, from other people. Never. See, this is kind of crazy. There's no flight over Antarctica. People would pay money for it, dude. People will do it. Just for the law. Oh my god, I'm flying over Antarctica. That proves the Earth is round. Just that, you know, But no, you know, government protects Antarctica, obviously. Fuck yeah. Everyone, well educated. Also, everyone still opens the video. Oh wow. You're not entertained? Fucking losers. At least that makes them look stupid, but it's like, no. Arguing is fine. In fact, it's the greatest argument of all time. Please. I don't know, at this point it's just... This is the only comment that I see. That it's sad. Oh my god, it's so sad! People believe in something that I don't believe in. Whoa! So sad, we are degrading. The society is going backwards now. So sad. I don't know why. Can you figure out why? Can you just figure out why it's a good idea to believe in flat Earth? It's a pretty good idea, I'm not gonna lie. It convinced me all the way. All the way, dude. But these people just can't figure out. They just don't have enough information, and that's what's really sad. You know. Why are you being sad? What the fuck? What the fuck are you sad about? Just at least laugh at flat earthers. I don't know. Fucking idiot. You have internet. Why you're sad? Jesus Christ. 21st. This is what's so sad. Geez, thanks for all the likes. All he said is like, then I turned 5. That's how stupid flat earthers are, you know? Wow! Crazy, dude. So, I hope you have been educated, man. This is the most amazing thing. That's all you have to do on the internet to be popular. Just say that something is real stupid. Oh my god. It made me feel so smart. I don't give a fuck about anything. I like authority to tell me what is reality, you know. So I can just be ignorant as much as I want. Everything works anyways, so why should we worry about this thing? We can just call flat earthers stupid and not worry about anything. There's no consequence to that ever, am I right? But what if there is? Whoops. You know, just worry about that. That's my conclusion, dude. If you before you call it stupid, think about the consequence. If it's not, you know. Not only you're stupid, but like you might be just removed from the earth, basically. Removed from society. It might be that bad. And we're like, well, you were very stupid. And you laughed at people for no good reason. Maybe you should live somewhere else. Oh, you don't want to? Well, damn, you'll have to pay for that. If you want to be accepted back into society, you know, like, simple. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. I take it for granted. The life that I have is very amazing. The fact that I have internet, computer, all these things, it's mind-blowing that I can live my life without working a day at all. It's just, wow, that happened. The government really takes care of me. It's actually way better when the government thinks you're mentally ill. Wow. It's way better, dude. You should hop on board. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, dude. You're so stupid, you have not a single argument, dude, that makes any sense. Yeah, sure. I still can't believe that magnetic pole actually moves. That's kind of crazy to me. It moves? What? And even if the round earth is true, I mean, it's gonna be the greatest story of all time of how all these arguments that I placed gonna be debunked one by one, slowly and carefully. You know, or we just see an actual footage from space of the Earth. That is enough. You know, that is enough to make me think of like, okay, it's still pretty fucking crazy, but now I have to live with that footage. But it never fucking happened, dude. We went to Mars, for fuck's sake, dude. Where's the footage? Why don't we just, why don't we care? You know? This is so stupid. Anyways. It's the most mind-blowing subject of all time. By far. This is why it's 3 hours long, okay? I couldn't make it shorter. There's no way. It's so crazy. There's so much to talk about. But we came to an end. We came to a conclusion at this point. I guess they don't have to think about the consequences. The consequences, I get a lot of likes if I call it stupid, you know? In a fun, smart way. I give you credit for that. It's very... If you come up with a smart way to call it stupid, that's the one that's gonna get likes. But you gotta be smart. I don't know. I would rather see fucking people promote their channels or something. Of them debating flat Earth or something. That's the comments that I want to see highlighted. You know, look at me. I'm also debating flat Earth. I'm so smart. Please come to my channel and like this comment so everyone can see it. That would be much more entertaining. I would actually watch through that video, but you know, I guess I don't care, because people don't actually consider all the arguments. I don't know. Let's just leave. I win. Okay. I only fought against myself. No one would dare to argue with me. Believe me. Right? I had arguments, but like they didn't convince me of anything, and I didn't convince them of anything either. So, but who's the stupid one? You know? At least they argue with me. That was fun. We had fun. Yeah, I just put it simply. Isn't the picture of Earth like the most expensive thing you can take and sell it to people? Shouldn't NASA just sell things that they acquire to actually get funded not by the government but by the people themselves? That would be very, very cool. You know, if we get to decide what is valuable for us or not. It's like, but it would be like OnlyFans. Oh, I think it's very valuable. I'm gonna pay for this picture of feet. I will pay for this picture of Earth. Oh, it's nothing what I asked. It's a fake picture. So we wouldn't know what we're paying for, honestly. So I guess it's a shitty argument anyways. Why would NASA would want to take a picture of Earth when they can just generate a picture of Earth? Like, think about it. Of course they would just generate it. Fuck that. It's just that one argument that makes no fucking sense. I think it's a crown argument too. There's no fucking picture of Earth from space. Where is that argument? I had to put it somewhere. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I'll just make a new one then. Give me Earth from space. or moon. You know, you can choose that if you're desperate. If you can't use space, I think you can get to the moon, right? You can do something, please. You're not science. You're capable of proving yourself right, you know? Anyways, get the fuck out of here. The earth is flat. If you believe otherwise, I mean, holy shit. You're just a troll on the internet. That's what you are. That's what it is. I believe the earth is round. Wow, you probably really thought about it, and you're definitely not a troll. You know, you probably spent hours and hours thinking about it. That's the problem here. And I don't believe every flat earther either. I think Eric Debay is kind of weird by saying, oh, sun and moon are just disks. What? Disks? That makes no sense. Why is sun rotating then? Well, that is weird, right? Anyways, okay, that's the end. See, thank you guys for watching. That's ridiculous that you did. Wow. That's the real like button that I can press on you. I hope you like it.